Welcome to Monday, and it looks like Rumble is all fucked up.
Yeah, of course Rumble decides not to work. What the hell? I'll work on it while we go. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm wonderful. I got a person watching. It looks like my internet's about to die, and
And
Rumble
Rumble's
ain't
dead.
working. So yeah, we're going strong.
Yeah.
Way to start out today.
Yeah, we are off and running. Holy shit. All right. Well,
Yeah, we'll reschedule the band and
yeah, no kidding. Jeez.
call it a day.
I'll fix it here. Give me a second. So what's going on, man?
I don't know. There's storms rolling through, so maybe that's why internet is all fucked up and everything else is all messed up.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what is going on here with the Rumble. That is definitely new to me, but
I'm cooking spaghetti downstairs in the crock pot, so the house is gonna start
sounds
smelling
good.
real nice here in a
Right.
couple hours.
And the humidity will turn into being about 1,000% in your house.
It's like, dude, I have the air set to 63, so
Oh,
there's
so you
nothing.
won't even
Nah, I wouldn't
you won't
notice.
even notice.
You could turn the oven on to 500. I wouldn't notice that that it's getting warm in here.
That's funny. Oh man, so what's going on?
Nothing. I see you're working, and so I'm trying to
No,
like
go ahead.
stall.
I could, dude. I do this all the time. I can walk. I can walk and talk.
So the Olympic ceremonies happened the other night. We haven't been on since they took place, and a little bit of backlash.
Yeah, I mean, Gojira kicked ass. I will say that. If you like that band, they kicked ass.
I don't know who that is.
Of course not. They're France's biggest export.
Oh, good, France. After watching what they did to the in the opening ceremony, they can kiss my ass. And
Well,
uh,
they were the band that was playing in the castle
I
with all the Marie Antoinettes going.
yeah, I saw Snoop Dogg roaming around and dancing to stuff. Some rapper that was French that really sucked ass, and then of course the debacle that was,
The gay Paris,
yes, I guess mocking the Last Supper, if you will.
right?
Although, if you listen to the French explanation now, the Olympic Committee's explanation, no, it's a Dionysus. It's a big long thing. If you just go to Mike Jasulka's freaking page, he'll give you the entire rundown on what it actually means because he knows everything, and he tells everybody to get out of their foxhole and not be upset by this because it's just Fox that is
Oh, the
apparently,
foxhole. I get it.
yes.
I get it. They're foxhole.
Yes, and so he created quite the stir amongst people that are fans or friends of this show, and so it was quite upsetting. And of course, I can't keep my mouth shut
No,
at all. Now, did you see that whole thing?
I watched for a little bit and then I turned it off. I was like, I can't be part of this. I mean, I'm, and I think I've told you this before. I'm definitely interested in the Olympics. Like I actually do enjoy Olympics. I've been to an Olympics games. I've been to the
Yeah,
ones in Korea.
yeah.
And I had probably the most fun time of my entire life was that 3 weeks that I was at the ones in Korea. So I am an Olympic fan. And opening day ceremonies is a big deal. So I did turn it was what, Thursday or Friday, whatever day it was. I turned it on and I was watching it and I saw Gojira absolutely kicking ass in that castle with all the fire burning and the Marie Antoinette heads all chopped off and shit. And I was like, yeah, this is pretty sweet. And but then the other stuff started and I was like, ugh, I can't be a part of this. I just cannot be a part of this. So yeah, I saw most of it.
But over the weekend, once again, because I can't control myself, I keep seeing things shit going crazy up there. Everything good?
I don't know. It's on. It's on. This is Rumble's having some sort of an issue, but it is on Rumble. I just have to keep rearranging shit. But that's fine. Whatever.
So over the weekend, of course, because I can't keep my mouth shut, I keep commenting on people's things and think that they're more educated, and telling me to educate myself. And of course, I at that point I have to tell them to f off because what I do for a living is education. And so everybody keeps explaining, oh no no no, it's not mocking the Christian religion. You Christians are just heathens and
Yeah.
hypocrites and assholes. Okay,
Well, then why did Fat Jesus say that it was like a grand statement for, transgenders across the world?
and why did the director of it, one, have a history of doing things like that, and two, admitted to doing it and apologized for doing it after he got the backlash? Why did the bishops of France say this is a mockery? Why did the Vatican come out and say it's a mockery? I'm assuming those people are fairly educated in what the Last Supper should look like and probably have an opinion on what was displayed there at the Olympic Games.
Yeah, I mean, come on. It was not this alleged show of Greek art. It just
No.
wasn't. It was meant to take a slap at Christians and what I'm not exactly Johnny Christian guy, but you know what? The Olympics themselves is supposed to be about unity of all people and all that's what the fucking rings mean. Is to, unite and have everybody unite in the spirit of sport. And this wasn't it. This was like, okay, those of you that have traditional ideas, fuck you. And it's like, you know what? No, fuck you. Turning it off.
Yeah, and I'm not going to watch any more of it. I mean, I'm just not.
No, it's
I'm
off.
not going to watch Simone Biles and her mental health issues and everything else. I'm just not going to put up with it. I'm not going to watch Snoop Dogg dance around smoking joints in France. I'm just not going to do this garbage anymore with this left. I'm not going to watch LeBron James, who sat down for the national anthem and didn't give a shit to stand for it, carrying the American flag. Get the hell out of here. I'm done with this garbage.
Yeah, LeBron carrying the flag to me is more insulting than the trans Last Supper, to be honest, because he doesn't represent this nation. He's a piece of shit. I mean, he is everything bad with this nation, and he's the representative. Nah, I don't think so. Not for me.
I mean, it's really getting bad. I mean, like the Jewish team, whatever it is, wanted to wear pins saying something to the effect of "bring them home."
Yeah,
and they were denied wearing those pins. Yet a Palestinian boxer, because they said no political statements.
right. That's funny. Hello to you too, Toomey.
So the Jewish team is not allowed to wear these pins that said "bring them home." A Palestinian boxer, by the way, there is no actual country called Palestine, but the Palestinian boxer wore a shirt with planes dropping bombs on children as a political statement, saying that that's what Israel is doing to the Gazan children, or whatever you want to call them. But that was allowed. But the Israel team not allowed to wear pins saying "bring them home."
No.
So what's going on in the Olympics is a shame and a sham, and I refuse to watch it. Bob talked about it a little bit this morning, talking about France, talking about, hey, look, I wish all of I guess most of our athletes, except for LeBron James, good health, and I hope that they do well, and I hope they bring home their medals, and they work very hard all their lives to get there. But I'm not going to be a part of it. I'm not going to watch it.
Right.
And it's sad because I used to watch it, and I wanted to watch it, but I can't. I mean, they made a joke out of the Olympic Games.
Well, I mean, look, everybody has their own line, which is what they gotta evaluate. I'm not, and I've said this before on every show I do. I'm definitely not one of these guys that's like everybody should do what I'm doing and boycott and but all that kind of shit. I'm definitely not that guy. Do you? If you want to watch it, watch it. If you're okay with that kind of shit and a large amount of the population being shit on and you don't care, then watch it.
I mean, I guess my point is that the Olympic Games don't excite me that much that I have to really give a shit to turn it on at 8:00 at night. I mean, I could care less. So, I mean, if it means if they're going to disrespect me and half this country or more, then you know what? Then fine. I mean, not that they care if I watch or not. They don't.
They don't. I'll tell you who cares. I'll tell you who cares. Peacock, NBC.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if you were an NBC representative and you probably shelled out $1 billion with a B to get the fucking Olympics, and then you're not even 20 minutes into the show and this kind of shit happens?
Right.
Oh, man. You got to think there's somebody that's got a gun in their mouth standing on the end of a skyscraper looking to jump off and shoot themselves on the way down.
Yeah,
'Cause-
it's
it's bad.
It was real bad. And I mean, look, the entertainment is what it is. I didn't get the entertainment just because I'm as French as I get is French fries, even though I don't eat anymore. So
Right.
it is what it is. I could give a shit less. Who was that? We had some rapper dude that I didn't understand even a little bit of it. Obviously, because he was speaking French, but
yeah, the only band I really saw was Gojira, and I love them anyway. So that
what
was
is
why.
Gojira? I don't even know what Gojira is.
It's like modern metal, man. They kick ass. Let me find the Olympic performance real quick. They're great.
But I mean, again, it goes back to social media. I don't. We're never going to get this country together. I don't care what Mike Jasilka has in mind. We are never going to bring this country together ever.
Dude, I've been saying that forever. Dude, it's done. It's over. I keep telling you that. You keep saying, no, but what about? There's no what about. It's fucking done.
I'm not saying what about. I'm saying there's got to be a solution. Either that or the Lord comes down and we all just go to hell.
That's it. We're done. We are on a fast track toward the apocalypse or Mad Max or nuclear war or something. It's over. This thought that there's somehow going to be happiness again in this world is over.
Now,
it's
can
dead.
we agree? You got music you're going to play?
I got Gojira. Here. This is them at the Olympics. Here we go. Enough of that. Oh, this ain't the video. It's pretty heavy for the Olympics.
Yeah.
I would imagine that there was a lot of housewives that did not know what to do with this.
Yeah, I guess I like it. It's all right.
It's heavy, man. I love them. They're a great band. They're definitely, and I'm sure they got it. I think they're like the biggest band in France because it's France. I mean, can you name another artist from France?
No, other than the rap guy that Snoop Dogg liked, I guess.
Yeah, whatever. Please.
I don't know, man. I'm so frustrated anymore. Again, I mean, I'm not going to talk about social media for the next third show in a row, but being on it, I got called all kind of names because I was saying, "Hey, man, why do you got to disrespect the religion, man? What are you doing?" You realize if they would have done the same friggin' thing to Islam and mocked it the way that they did on the Olympics, there would have been bombs flying.
Yeah.
And they're going to sit here and bitch because we're complaining about it being Christians. You can
but
walk
again,
all over Christians and shit all over them, and it's fine. You do to any other religion, maybe Jewish now, but forget about it.
Here's why. You just said why. The answer is because the Christians won't do dick about it. The Christians will be all butthurt and put a fucking special banner on their Facebook page. Say what you want about radical Muslims. I think they're fucking ridiculous too. But God knows nobody fucks with them. Why? Because you know you will die if you do. Maybe if Christians were a little more tough and the Christians showed up and hacked off some fucking French artist's head today, you wouldn't see this happen twice, now would you?
But see,
Christians are pussies.
But you can't even stand up for yourself on Facebook or
why
Twitter
should you?
Or anything else.
And so then why should anybody respect you if they're not afraid of you?
I stood up for myself on one post yesterday. One post.
And what did it get?
This is ridiculous. I got attacked from every angle known to man.
Yeah.
By these leftist fucking fools. Now I'm going to say it, and I don't care. You can disagree or whatever, but
that's fine.
This is the problem with the left. All of this is a problem with the left. This trans nonsense is a problem with the left. What's going on in this country with attack on Christians and white males is on the left. Dude, Clay Travis?
Yeah, I know Clay Travis.
Clay Travis, Buck Sexton, guys got
Outkick.
Clay Travis got a handwritten note threatening his life because he's a Trump supporter.
Yeah.
There was an old man in Michigan who was putting a Trump sign in his front yard, got run over by a 20-year-old fucking leftist idiot, and he died because he's a Trump supporter. I was driving home today. There was a truck who had a Trump flag waving in the back of his bed. I honked at him, waved at him. The next car that was behind him flipped me off and yelled, "Fuck you," out the window to me.
Right. But
this is a problem on the left.
But what are you doing about it?
Well, what do you want me to do? You want me to turn around and go kick his ass? I got one leg. Okay, I don't have that.
Well, this is how you solve it. That's how you solve it.
I'm going to start shooting people?
No, but I guarantee you, if you whip it out when they fucking yell at you, they're going to hit the gas and move. That's why. Because Christians are pussies.
This is a problem.
Christians are always looking to find some way to softly and nicely talk it out. Well, you know what? The time for that is over. This is why the left is winning. I'm not a leftist. You know that. I'm not a leftist. But I love the fact that people, and you know this about me because you've been around me, nobody is 100% comfortable around me because you just don't know what I'm going to do. You don't know that if you say the wrong thing that I won't fucking bite your goddamn face off. And that's what you have to be. If you want attacks on you and your belief system to stop, and this is across the board, you have to be stronger. You have to make somebody know that they're going to really pay for it if they fuck with you. And if enough people do that, this bullshit will stop. It'll stop.
You're right. The problem is with the right, I guess. I mean, the problem is with the left, but the right doesn't do anything about it. The right doesn't stand up for themselves, doesn't do anything. You can't blame the left for taking advantage of a situation that the right is giving them. The right's letting it happen. Talking to another politician, are you going to charge the head of the Secret Service with perjury because she lied when she was testifying?
No.
Well, we'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens here. We tried that before and it doesn't really go anywhere because the DOJ doesn't. See, that's our problem. We don't do anything.
No, we don't.
We're so busy writing letters and having committees and everything else. We need to stand up and fucking do something, dude. Something.
No, I know.
I mean,
by the way, you were offended. I just want to go backwards real quick for a second. You were offended by the opening ceremonies?
Yeah.
I've got this exclusive video of the closing ceremonies being practiced. Would you like to see that?
Oh, yeah.
All right, here you go. Looks like it's going to be a hell of a closing ceremony.
Can't wait to watch that one. That is exclusive video right here on the Seth Williams Show.
That's right. You won't get that anywhere else, folks.
Ain't going to get that anywhere else. But I don't know.
Go ahead. As far as the secrets, as Cheadle, she ain't getting shit. They're not going to do shit to her. They already got what they needed out of her. She closed it up. You know what she's going to get? A book deal. That's what she's going to get. A $10 million book deal for taking the bullet.
Do you think we're close to riots and hell in the streets?
No. Christians are pussies. Right-leaning people are pussies.
Let me just say this. Bob France has a new parody song out that he wanted me to promote on the show.
Okay.
It's on my Facebook page. You can check it out if you want to. It's about Kamala Harris. But let's say, for instance, this fool who's running for office now, who's running for president.
Cackling Kamala?
Yeah, she is seriously as smart as the desk that I'm sitting at. And that's only got 3 legs too. It's missing a leg also. Now, if she wins,
Yeah.
do you think that the right will say, I've had enough, we're going at it?
No. Dude, the right proved it when they let their businesses be burned down. They ain't doing nothing. Nothing. They've got all the guns and they just continue to get walked all over. What does that say? When you have all the weaponry, when you have all of the arsenal to stop this shit dead, and you don't, what does that say? The right is always worried about the reaction instead of just doing it. The left doesn't care. That's the biggest difference. The left, you can have idiots like, what's his name on CNN, the black dude that just is as racist as could be, the czar guy. Van Jones.
Van Jones, yeah.
You can have the Van Joneses of the world, or what's the attorney, Crumpton,
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
Benjamin Crumpton, or Jamel Hill, or whatever. That just constantly Joy Reid. Pick a name. Scarborough, Olbermann, whatever. And they can say ad nauseum the dumbest shit that is absolutely offensive to anybody on the other side. But no one does a goddamn thing about it. So why would they stop? Why would they stop?
Do you think
Well, hold on. But every time you challenge the other way, if somebody challenges a right-leaning person, they stop. They stop going forward. There's only a few examples of people that have not stopped. And when they don't stop, they win. Look at Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson was attacked on every level known to man. He said, fuck you. I'm not going to shut up. I'm going to go even harder at people. And what happened? He literally has the biggest podcast in the world now. He passed Joe Rogan in months, mere months. Why? Because he stood up. That's the biggest problem. Right-leaning people are afraid of me and you have talked about this a dozen times, dude. They're afraid of being labeled a racist, a homophobe, a transphobe, a blah, 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 blah. Sometimes you just got to say, yeah, I am. By your definition, of course, I'm a racist. I say that all the time. I'm a racist. I am a racist. By everybody's definition of what, if I can't tell a joke and I can't dare say something bad about somebody that is not my race, then I'm a racist. Fine, I don't care. I'll wear that. Yeah, that's fine. I'm a Metallica-ist too, goddammit.
Left has the government, politicians on their side, and the media, oh, by the way.
And the media, but you got to change that. You just have to, change it.
I'm convinced that there's going to be a breaking point at some point, and the right will stand up, and there's going to be hell on streets.
Never.
If they start trying to take guns, if they start trying to do something like that, I think there's going to be hell on the streets.
Guns is the only way. It won't be any other issue. I mean, every other issue has been challenged, and the right caves like a bunch of pussies. It's that simple.
Right. Well, on that note.
Yeah. Sorry, Sean, in the waiting room. We didn't mean to have you walk into this shithole.
But I'm still going to ask you about it. Shall we go to our guest? Should we play some music here? So let's change it up, lighten it up a little bit.
Yeah, let's lighten it up. We started very serious. Let's lighten it up with some awesome. Well, I guess lightening it up is not what you say about this band. Let's heavy it up.
Yes,
with the best kind of heavy. Let's play a little bit of the Four Horsemen, who will be coming here to Lorain in September.
Yep.
And I would suggest everybody goes out and sees them because they really kick ass. So let's play a little bit of music, and then we'll come back with Sean from the Four Horsemen to talk all about the band and coming here and all that good stuff right here on the Seth Williams Show.
And let's welcome Sean to the show. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you guys? Getting
Good,
ready
man.
for a revolution, huh?
We are. I am, no doubt. I'm fed up. I don't know, which side you lean to, but I'm a little bit disturbed by the way the country is going at this point.
Oh yeah, we're fucked. We're stupid people.
Amen, man.
I agree with that.
Well, at least until we are eventually run over by all this, we've got your great band, the Four Horsemen, man. I'm just going to tell you straight up to start, man. I have seen 8 zillion Metallica tribute bands, including yours. I have seen your band before. And you guys are by far the best. And that's not just an ass kiss. That is the truth, man. You guys, everybody else can play the songs, but you guys play them like you wrote the songs, man. And there is a difference.
There's a huge difference. I appreciate that. We live the material though. Like every week, we're playing this stuff 2 to 4 times a week, and I do get people who, well, my buddy's in a Metallica tribute and they're about as good as you guys. And I'm like, okay, 'cause opinions are like assholes. And, I realize I'm like, well, you're not going to change anybody's mind. So I try to just be, politically correct. I hate to, not trying to bring,
Don't need to be here.
Yeah, don't worry about that here. That's
yeah,
for sure.
but it's like, I watched the videos. I've filled in, and for one of those bands, and it was just like, this is atrocious. And I feel like, look, here's my take on it. And if you've seen the promo video, this is what I've said for years.
Sure.
People work all week. They want to go out and be entertained. And I feel like a lot of these bands, not just tributes, there's a lot of cover bands out there that just barely get through the songs. They're not energetic. They're not engaging with the people that they're playing to. And I really feel like, you don't deserve their time. You have to earn those fans' time. Money can always be remade. You cannot get your time back for a disappointing experience. So if you go out to see a show, I don't care whose show it is. I don't care if it's a real Metallica or Aerosmith, AC/DC, whoever.
Sure.
You should come out of that saying, wow, man, I'm so glad I didn't miss that show. What a great experience that was. So that's the kind of motto or embodiment of what I wake up and do every day. Is like, it has to be something that people want to come back and see, or at least if they saw it once and walk away from it and just say, fuck, man, I did not expect that. That was awesome. I had a great time.
How did you get into the Metallica thing to begin with?
I was actually singing in an Alice in Chains tribute, and the bass player that had auditioned for that band was in this Metallica tribute.
Okay.
Years ago. I think it was like 2005 or 2004. We were playing an Alice in Chains band for like 3 years. And Chris has known me since I was in Antithesis back in my early days. And so, it was like right after the third album of Antithesis, we weren't really, it just wasn't happening for us. I think we were a little too left field for everybody. It was too proggy and stuff, and people didn't latch on to it the way we were hoping. So, I mean, that band fizzled out, and I still just wanted to do something. So I loved Alice in Chains, and I started singing in that tribute. Bass player auditioned. He told us, my Metallica band is my priority. So if it conflicts, I'm doing the Metallica show. So I was like, whatever, we're not looking to play but a few shows anyway. They lost their frontman. Long story short, I won't get into why. He had some personal demons to take care of. And when he got done with those demons, he decided that he was not going to be involved in the bar scene anymore. So he left the band. They asked me, can you play guitar? And I said, well, yeah, I used to be in Antithesis. And one guy shit himself and was like, oh my God, I have all your albums. You can still play like that. I'm like, no, that was extreme. And, Tall Paul was a very gifted guitar player, and he really pushed the limits of my playing. So I was like, I really don't want to play like I'm cramming for a college exam anymore. I just want to play because I love to play. But so they said, can you learn some songs? I said, yeah, give me 3 weeks. Give me your entire set list. I already love Metallica. I love it, Megadeth and stuff. So I know some of it already. So I went through that stuff, came out and auditioned, and, they were floored. And I told them, I said, look, I come from a serious music background. My father was a great drummer and singer, and everything I do, my dad said, don't ever half-ass it. We give it everything you got. Be serious about your craft, and and people will respect that. So when I got into that band, it was the typical Metallica band. They were not phenomenal players, and I just said, look, if you want me in the band, you've got to try and do these things as best you possibly can, or I'm not going to be interested. So we went down that path, and heads butted, and after a while I started taking over booking shows and whatnot, and everybody was in multiple bands except me. The only band I was in was this one. And I just said, I want to be serious about it. I think we could do something with it. So, one thing led to another, decisions were made and people were replaced. And so 2 or 3 lineups now, and here we are traveling most of the country. Our manager is Brian Wheat from Tesla now.
Right.
I've got a publicist. I've got a social media company. It's growing at an incredible rate. Next week we're doing an 11-day run. We're going to be out Nebraska, South Dakota, back to Columbus, Ohio, then out to Wayland, New York. We're doing 2 days in Sturgis this year. So it's really, it's just an embodiment of what I wanted, what I envisioned years ago. It's been like 18 and a half years I've been pushing this band. And, people, there's a lot of people that do not like me. There's a lot of people in Cleveland and Akron that fucking despise me, to be honest with you. But I don't give a shit. It's like,
right.
You get a big target on your back when you get successful.
Right.
I'll tell you this, though, Brian has done his homework on us.
Sure.
Brian is friends with James, Lars, and Kirk since he was 22 years old. Lars was in his wedding. He knows these guys, and he brought our band to their attention. Adam Kornfeld, their agent, knows who we are. He loves the band. Their day-to-day manager, Tony DiCiaccio, knows who we are, loves the band. And so it's like, at least they're not coming to me and saying, you're done.
Right.
No more of this shit. So I'm very happy that Metallica is just letting us do what we do. And we're just carrying the torch of the old stuff anyway. I'm turning little kids onto Metallica.
Right.
I can't tell you how many people are like, do you guys have albums out? I'm like, yes, we do. There's a bunch. They're at Walmart under the M section. It's called Metallica.
Right.
It's just amazing to me. It's like, why do you want me to? It's already been done, and it'll never be done better than what they did. We're just trying to carry the torch and bring, this music the justice it deserves. And I just, I used to go and watch. In particular, there was one Metallica tribute that I used to go watch when I was in Antithesis, because I just loved Metallica. I didn't have a lot of money. You know how it is when you're writing your own music. Nobody came to our shows. So I loved the whole concept of being able to see somebody play Battery and Blackened and stuff like that. And then after seeing some lineup changes with this one particular Metallica tribute, everything went downhill, and it was sloppy and everything. All of these bands, I just go out and I watch their videos. I'm like, why would people go waste their time on this? I don't understand. So I think, I'm not going to sit here and rip on anybody. I think it's the fans' responsibility to tell the band by not buying a ticket, not by going and ripping on them. You don't have to rip on them. A lot of these people are nice people, but as a band, it's not good. Sure. So I think the fans should vote with their wallets. Do your homework. Mm-hmm. If you go to a show and you don't think it's good, don't go back. Right. There is an alternative out there, and it's called the Four Horsemen.
There you
or
go.
Metallica.
Yeah, exactly. Well, dude, we get so many people complain about ticket prices. And I will say, I went and saw Metallica, the last 2 times I've seen them, once in Detroit here in November. And then before that was, I guess, right before the pandemic when they played at Rocket Mortgage. And, each time tickets were very expensive. You know, I mean, I got lucky with the Metallica Pantera tickets, and I bought them with a pre-sale and everything else, and I lucked out into like $120 for mid-level, not the best seats, but the Rocket Mortgage, I paid $400 a ticket to get terrible tickets, and they weren't very good. For your band, for the Four Horsemen, does the fact that the tickets are so expensive now for most people, does that benefit a band like yours, because you come in, you play the songs extremely well and extremely true to their sound, which is what people want anyway, and you don't come with the $400 a ticket price tag?
No, but we do get people bitching that they have to pay sometimes 30, 40, 50 bucks. I just tell them, look, you know, I don't, they get mad at me. Like particularly, I get, you know, people sending me messages and saying, you know, you guys think you're like as good as Metallica, you're charging all this money. It's like, I don't set the ticket price. I just play the show, you know, and I had nothing to do with it. But I don't know if it benefits us as much as maybe people might think. But yeah, I mean, you're right. The ticket prices are insane. And I'm one of these guys. I'm against Ticketmaster with all the bullshit fees.
Yeah,
it's garbage, because I took my father, before my dad passed away last year, I took him to see the Eagles at Quicken Loans Arena, or whatever the hell they call it these days. And it was $1,804 for 2 tickets. And we were nowhere near the stage. We had to watch the big Jumbotron the entire time, because, you know, they're so small on stage. It was a phenomenal concert. But should we have paid $902 per ticket, with $200 of that being a Ticketmaster fee per ticket? No, hell no. The tickets were $700. By the time I bought them, they were $1,804. And I'm like, how the hell are you charging $200? I'm in IT. I think you're in the IT stuff too. You know, that's automated software. There's no person behind that doing that.
Yeah,
but
there's no convenience to it.
No, it's like no one's emailing or even mailing you a ticket anymore. So there's no human involvement in that. But you're going to charge based on the ticket price that, you know, whatever you have to pay the Eagles, and I think it was Steve Miller, supposed to be Steely Dan, but whatever they're asking, you have to base your ticket prices to you know, make money and whatnot. But what the hell's with these processing fees? This software was built, it was paid for years ago, and yet you're charging these insane processing fees. So yeah, I'm totally against the whole Ticketmaster thing. I mean, I don't know if it's going to get me in trouble or not, but I tell venues, don't use them. There's web tickets, there's C tickets, there's all kinds of other Eventbrite. Use these other freaking places, because Ticketmaster, they're gouging people. And people, you know, look at right now, the economy sucks. Yeah. It's sucked for years now. And people's hard-earned money is getting flushed down the toilet to some greedy, you know, CEO somewhere that's making a bunch of money off of them.
And that's the big issue. It doesn't go to you.
No,
you know,
none of the bands see that. I mean, we see ticket fees as well on our ticket fee. I don't get that, you know, and a lot of times we just get a fee, and the venue makes what they make, and then the ticketing place makes whatever their processing fees are too. So it's like, well, I'm not doing that. That I have nothing to do with that. And believe me, I look at our prices. Some of these markets like New York and New Hampshire, the ticket prices, average ticket price is like $50 for any show, depending on the venue that you go to. Sometimes it's even more than that. So it's not, I don't set the prices.
No. Dude, $40-$50 for a band that does it on a quality level is not bad. I mean, there's that band, what is it, Friends of Leonid or whatever it is, that does Chicago. They travel around.
Great.
They're better than Chicago.
Great band. I love Chicago too, and I've watched their videos. They're damn good.
They're unbelievably good, but their tickets when they play here at the Roxino or whatever, about $80-$90 a ticket. But I've said this all the time, and it goes to you're paying for a great event, whatever the great event is. And you know what? Honestly, I'd rather see you guys playing in the 1988-89 form of Metallica than Metallica today. And Metallica is arguably my one or two favorite band of all time. So I'm with you on the Metallica love. but they don't play it as well as they used to in 1988 or 89. And you guys do. You guys, it seems like, and tell me if I'm wrong, but it seems like you guys study to be not just a Metallica tribute, but a tribute to And Justice for All and Kill 'Em All. More a tribute to the records than a tribute to the band.
Yes, you're exactly right when you say that, because I am an asshole. Anybody will tell you that has dealt with me in the past, I'm very picky. I'm hard to get along with. If you're not doing it to the best of your ability, I'm the first one to notice. It's a love, okay? And people, I'll tell you why. Like back, I had a horrible childhood, horrible, abusive, mentally, physically. I ran away when I was 14. The only thing that kept me sane, because it was like suicide was like, that was my out. Like I kept telling myself, fuck this. What's the point?
Right.
No one wants me. And music came to my rescue. So like Metallica, for instance, people don't know this about me, it's not like I'm on, oh, woe is me. This is not a woe is me story at all. This is a success story, if anything. I hated my life so bad that I used to listen to Metallica lyrics, especially Fade to Black, and I would draw pictures. And I still have these pictures of getting shot in the chest with a shotgun, hanging myself with a rope, stabbing myself with a knife. And there's Fade to Black lyrics all over those drawings on that one page, because I was just so depressed with my life. I just didn't want to be alive anymore. So when people are like, well, you know, I'm in a Metallica tribute, and I listen to them play, and I'm like, you are disrespecting this music so bad that it angers me when I hear people playing it sloppy, because it was the only thing that kept me alive as a kid was listening to Metallica and AC/DC, you know, just the fight songs of my life, you know, even Hell's Bells. I was going through the lyrics of that, and I used to draw pictures of myself walking through the rain and the lightning coming down.
Right.
White lightning's flashing across the sky. And I'm like, yeah, you're only young, but you're going to die. That was the lyric that sung to me, because it was like, I just didn't want to be on this earth anymore when I was, 13, 14 years old. So those songs are part of me. It's in my blood. So when I'm being a stickler and I'm being picky and I'm being kind of hard on the guys, I've been hard on everybody in the band. It's like, play it fucking right.
Yeah.
The two guys that I have in the band now that are young, the bass player and lead guitar player, they don't understand it to the way that me and my drummer do. Me and my drummer's lives work very hard, and we both latched onto music, and he gets it just like I do. The kids, they're 28. I'm 49.
Right.
I'm old enough to be their dad. So when I talk with them about stuff, sometimes they'll embellish a little bit. And I'm like, ask me about it. Because if it doesn't fit the way I want it to fit in the show, don't do it.
Right.
So, that is why I think when it comes to us, you're not going to find another band that calls themselves a Metallica tribute. Do it to our level, because I bleed this music. I wake up thinking, what can I do to do a better show? How can I get more gigs for the band? I quit my IT. I was making oodles of money sitting on my ass, fixing servers and setting up Microsoft domain networks. I gave all that up to do music where I make a lot less money, and I drive a lot more hours than I do anything other. People are like, oh man, you live the rock star lifestyle. I'm like, no, I live in a van. I drive for 12 hours. I play on the stage for 100, maybe 120 minutes, and I'm done. And then it's 8 hours to the next show. I live in a van. That's what I do. And I drive.
That's what I was going to ask you about is, the rock star lifestyle a little bit. And, what's the groupie situation? Is it, again,
I'll tell you.
When we talk to bands, I'm always, I want to know, like, what's the van look like? Is it stacked with like chicks and beer and we drive for the next 8 hours to the next place? That's what I picture it being for you guys.
The van, I'll tell you this, the van is vacuumed out by me before we go out. It's my van. It's my trailer. It's a 12-passenger Chevy van, 17-foot trailer. It has coolers and suitcases, and I don't like cigarettes, so no one's allowed to smoke in my van. I collapsed my lung when I was 20. I almost died because my aunt, when I ran away, I lived with my aunt, and she smoked every day, and I blew up my lung basically.
Yeah.
And they thought I smoked when I went to the hospital. I'm like, no, I don't smoke. But my aunt smoked, so I might as well have been a smoker. I lived with her. So no cigarettes, no marijuana, no fucking drugs, no drunks. I won't tolerate druggies or alcoholics or any kind of substance dependence. If I'm not doing it, you're not doing it. So our van is fucking boring. Our green room is boring. We sleep. We play a video game on the phone. We bullshit. I'll have a beer or two, but there is no drunk on the stage. You are not allowed to play inebriated. You are not allowed to play fucked up out of your head. Matter of fact, you won't even be in the band if you're a smoker, if you're a drug addict, or you have to have 2 or 3 beers to get out of bed in the morning. I'm not having it. I'm not put up with that bullshit.
How hard did that make it to find guys?
How do I find guys?
No, how hard did that make it to find guys?
Very hard. My father even told me, he goes, well, then you're going to play by yourself. When I was a kid, when I was putting Antithesis together, I told him, I'm not going to put up with any of that crap. And he goes, well, you'll be playing by yourself. So it took me a long time to find the members of Antithesis even. But every one of those guys was sober. You know, that's just it. I mean, you've heard the music. It was crazy. It's too hard to play that stuff sober. How are you going to play it screwed up? Yeah. So, you know, I put the same thing towards this. Is like, this is a job and I pay you very well. You don't go to the job, you know, if you're a truck driver or if you're a heavy equipment operator or if you're an IT professional, you don't go to that job fucked up, drinking beers while you're working, smoking dope and all this bullshit. I just, it's not for me. You're not going to be a really successful guy if you're wasting your time every day getting fucked out of your head. So I don't want it around me. I'm too weak-minded of a person to have negativity and people that are going nowhere in their lives. It can't be around me because I'm too impressionable. I have to, like, I watch positive oriented videos on YouTube. I watch nutritional video all the time. If you ask my wife, she will be like, oh my God, he's always sending me these stupid nutritional videos. And like, I love it. I love working out. I love playing in the band. And I just, you know, that my life is about bettering myself.
Well, if she doesn't like those nutritional videos, maybe you should send them to me and Chris. Because it's pretty obvious that we could probably use those. So.
I have no problem with it, man, because our nutrition in America is nothing but poison. Everything we eat is designed to make us sick, is how I look at it. You know, and then you get wrapped up in the whole healthcare system, and they got you. You know, and I will say this one thing, politically oriented, but not left or right. Transgender, the reason they are pushing it so hard in the medical community is because of big pharma. Once you get transgender, you're never off the drugs, and they fucking love it because it's multi-billion-dollar business. So I'm against it. They could fix cancer, they could fix diabetes, they could fix dementia. All kinds of things could be fixed with diet, but diet is cheap. Drugs are expensive, and that's how people get more and more money, is they loop you into that drug market. So if people are wondering, like, why would they push this? There's only 2 genders, or whatever they want to say that their argument is for transgender. I'm telling you right now, it's never going away, just like climate, because there is billions of dollars in both of those industries. And it's an industry now. It's not about your health. They don't give 2 shits about your health. What they care about is managing your decline.
Right.
Managing it is more profitable than curing anything.
I'm not going to get political on you, but they do the same thing with the damn vaccines too. Take 400 vaccines and we'll make billions of dollars.
And don't worry, the side effects, we've got a pill for that too. We got another vax for that.
That's right.
Forget about it.
It's all about money.
Right. And money equals the power. That's right. It. That's exactly it.
That's right.
Well, dude, talk a little bit about this, the show coming up here on Rock on the River, September 13th.
Oh, yeah.
Does that, I'm curious because, and like you said at the beginning, me and you have known each other kind of in passing for a long time, 30 years or whatever, I think, at this point. There, Is it exciting to come back here? I know you were never, there was the rah-rah guys in the scene that you came up in, and then there was your band, which was not in that rah-rah Cleveland, I played the Odeon tonight. You know, you guys weren't one of those bands. You guys always came, you did your business, and you got the fuck out. Is it a rah-rah thing for you to be playing such a big event? Like, Rock on the River is a big event.
Well, I'm all about exposure.
Okay.
If you're going to do this and you're going to sacrifice your life, then you might as well be as successful as you possibly can. Whatever it is. I don't care if it's IT or music or whatever. I don't care. So those two areas is where it was relevant to me. It was IT and the music business. But as far as rah stuff, I mean, I'm bringing the same show to these masses. We've played Rockin On The River for, I think, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
He's done. Our show, Bob Early, is done. He's retiring and he's keeping the name. He's not selling the name. It's going with him. So Rockin' on the River is over with September 13th.
Oh, wow.
He told me there's going to be, I believe, a senator or senators coming to this event. There's going to be political figures. There's going to be celebrity people. Because I actually had another show offer maybe 15 miles away a week before his, and he called me up and personally was like, please don't do that show. I need you guys there. And I'm like, Bob, we've been friends for years. I'm not going to screw you over on this. I just wondered. The guy told me it was East Cleveland, but when I looked it up on the map, I'm like, no, this is not East Cleveland. This is over in the West End.
Right.
And so I talked to Bob and he said, please don't do it. If it was on the East side, I wouldn't care, but this is too close. And I said, no problem. So for this show, I mean, it's his send off. It's his culmination of being a radio disc jockey, down in Akron where I'm living currently. And all of the years of doing Rockin' on the River in Cuyahoga Falls and now up there in Black River Landing. So I'm like, we're going to give you a good send off. And last year I even asked him, I said, why do you put us at the end of the season each year? Right. Because we could easily get 10, 12, 15,000 people if you put it in the middle of like July, August.
Sure.
And he leveled with me and he says, there is not one other band that will draw the way you guys do at the end of my season. He goes, I have to have you at the end of the season so that we do well. And I said, well, that's a compliment. I'll take it and we'll do you proud. So he's very excited about this last show. And so are we. We've played in front of 7,000 people. And one of the highlights of that was I did get my father out on that stage in front of all those people.
Right.
And my dad was he's the only reason why I ever even got into music. Was I wanted to be just like my dad when I was a kid. When I saw him playing his drums and singing it, he was in a band called Motley Crue, EW, at the end of theirs. But it was called The Motley Crue, back when he was a young guy, and I got to see him do that before he stopped playing. But he was, Ford Motor Company auto worker. But I thought there's not one drummer in this world that's better than my dad. So I was really influenced by him and I really wanted him to be proud. And when I started getting these big gigs, I put him up on House of Blues Cleveland stage. I put him up on the MGM Grand stage. And I finally got him up on Rockin' on the River.
Nice.
I think it was last year or the year before that. It was 7,000 people in front of us. And he about crapped himself. And he's like, how do you do this? How do you play in front of all these people just staring at you? I mean, you're the front guy even. So it's like all eyes on you. And I said, well, you told me don't ever half-ass anything. So,
right.
This is what I do now. I'm a musician. I'm a professionally touring musician. We draw bigger crowds than a lot of the nationals that I grew up listening to.
Sure.
Which is crazy, very crazy. We don't brag about it. We hear about it. I'm in the industry. I'm very connected with a lot of big time names. If people saw my phone, they would shit themselves with the people I could just
right.
call. But I don't bother them. I just, you walk in the same circles, you start meeting the same people that, Joey DeMaio is one of my friends. Joey Belladonna is one of my friends. Everybody knows Tim Owens, so I don't really, that's not really.
That don't count.
Around here anyway, everybody knows Tim. Everybody loves Tim, but I wasn't really that much of a friend of his until after the Judas Priest stuff,
Sure.
But everybody I run into is like, oh yeah, that's Tim, and so. But when you get outside of our area, Cleveland, Akron, people are like, Tim Owens? I'm like, well,
right.
yeah, I was at his bar all the time. Him and Micah, just hanging out and bullshit. One time I ignored him when I walked past him. He punched me right in the kidney. He's like, "Hey, man, I'm sitting right here." I was like, "Oh, I didn't see you because of that stupid hat you're wearing all the time." He's a good dude, though. I loved him. Great guy.
Yeah, he is.
But yeah, this show, Rockin on the River, we're going to be at Goodyear Theater November 2nd. We're going to be at the local in Strongsville October 18th, I think it is, or 19th. Let me look at my calendar real quick. So we're actually playing the 19th. We'll be at the local in Strongsville. So I'm actually giving Cleveland area, Cleveland, Akron, a little dose more than I've usually it's once a year.
Sure.
And I'm out on the road. I had no interest in playing Cleveland or Akron for years because it's like, this is my backyard. No one's impressed. Everybody knows me. A lot of people
Everybody wants free tickets.
That's another thing. Yeah, I had a lot of people hit me up for tickets. And then back in the day, it used to be the House of Blues would give me 1,000 tickets. Just pass them out. Now, almost all those tickets are sold. Mm-hmm. But that's a lot of promotions. I put hundreds of dollars into the ads that we run, and people are like, "Well, why would you do that?" I'm like, because if you're building a business, you have to market. I don't put the money in my pocket. We don't drink it at the shows. It's an investment. So I take this very seriously and a lot differently than a lot of bands take their band. They don't want to invest it. Like my old members, they didn't want to invest in it. So I bought all the everything you see on stage. Almost everything you see is mine. I bought it over the years because I was just like, this is an investment. People come to the show and they should be wowed, even with the stuff we have on stage. So yeah, Rockin on the River, I'll have 20 cabinets on stage. It's for the fans. We're not plugging them all in. They all work. None of them are fake, but I want people to look at that stage and go, holy shit, who the fuck is this? So it's just, we're hungry. Just like the old Metallica stuff back in the 80s, they were hungry. Right. I'm still hungry. I've been doing this almost 20 years and I'm hungry.
Right on.
What do you think of the new music, the new stuff that Metallica? I mean, I know the old stuff is the best. Like, what do you think about the new stuff Metallica's putting out?
They're trying to get back to what they used to do. I can't fault them for that. So the Black Album came out in 91. I was 16.
Right.
I wasn't upset because it was still pretty heavy. I love the Black Album.
For the time, it was very heavy.
Very heavy, but it got on the radio, which was unheard of for Metallica.
Yeah.
And we were always like, holy shit, Metallica's on the radio, right? Well, I was a thrash metal guy, I was only 16 years old. My brother took me to that concert that year at Richfield Coliseum before it got torn down. What a shame. But we went there and we were behind the stage, way up in the nosebleeds. And it was the most phenomenal concert I've ever been to. Now, my first concert was AC/DC, and that blew my fucking mind at the Richfield as well during the Blow Up Your Video tour.
Okay.
But when I saw the Metallica concert and how just gruff and pissed off they were and fuck the world type of attitudes, James is spitting beer into the crowd. Hey, what's up, motherfuckers? And I'm like, oh my God, this is the fight fucking band of my life.
Yep.
This is what you embody yourself as any musician in my world. In my head, I thought this is what you want to be. This is the kind of band you want to be. So I took that experience and said, I want to do Antithesis like that. So we played our shows and I headbanged my ass off as much as I could. Same thing applies to this band. When we're out there, I'm not going to stand there with my thumb up my ass. We don't just headbang. Like, I'll see a lot of bands like doing this stuff. I'm like, yeah, okay. And people are like, oh, they're headbanging. That's not a headbang.
Right.
When your head conks off of your guitar's neck or you gut yourself with your guitar because you're doing a body bang.
Right.
Like, my torso is the headbang. and hair's flying. And it's like every fucking song. People are like, how do you keep up 2.5 hours of headbanging every fucking song like your life depended on it? I'm like, I go to the gym and I eat right and I love what I do. There's emotion behind it. I'm not doing this just for some money. I'm doing this because this makes my heart sing. That's the difference. A lot of guys just do it because it's beer money.
Right.
I don't do it then.
Yeah, I
If
agree.
you're gonna half-ass the songs, if you're gonna get up there with your khakis and your music stand with your lyrics, don't expect people to clap and don't expect people to pay to see you, and you're slopping through the material.
Right.
We live it, we love it, we own it, we do play it like we wrote it. How else would you play it if you're a tribute, if you're honoring somebody else's music? The best thing you can do is play it like the album,
right?
And give it the aggressiveness that it deserves. So that's what we're doing. As far as the new music, to answer your question about that, I get myself in trouble when I open my mouth. I'm glad that they went back to being a heavy band.
I agree with that.
It's better to hear them trying to get back to their roots and what made them great.
Yeah.
But my heart is stuck in the 80s. I feel like Kill 'Em All through the Black Album is where it really made my heart sing. Sure. When they cut their hair off, they put eyeliner on, and they started painting their nails, I was upset.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
And, I bought Load because Lars was touting it as the heaviest thing that they had ever done. And when I heard James singing like a cowboy,
Low Man's Lyric or whatever.
I literally took the CD out of my 5 carousel player and I whipped it behind me so hard that it hit one of my poles in my basement and shattered. So my brother came over for my birthday a little later on that year with the cassette Load. Like, hey man, I know you love Metallica, and here I bought this for your birthday. And I looked at it and I said, if you don't want to see this in a million pieces, take it. Because it upset me. I was very upset. Like I said, this music saved my life. So when they changed that music, I was still a kid. I was only 21 years old when that was released. It was like, or 20. What was it? It was 4 years after the Blackout. It was
5 years.
It was 5.
96.
It was 96. So you're talking, I went to the Black Album concert where most of it was old school stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I see them cut their fucking hair off and wear, might as well have lipstick on and shit. Like, you guys made fun of Motley Crue looking like chicks, and what are you doing with eyeliner on and nail polish?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was pissed. I'm like,
Dude.
no, fuck that. I'm out. I found Lamb of God, and I went back to Pantera and just went really heavy.
Sure.
I love the heavy stuff. I'm still a metalhead. I love classic rock, hard rock, and metal.
Sure. Dude, I remember when they did that, and to me, the music is whatever. I just wrote it off. I remember when I got Load, and I was like, oh, what is this? I just was like, it does have a couple good songs. I mean, I think Bleeding Me is a phenomenal song.
You're right. As a man now, as I was a kid then, I was pissed. As a man now that's almost 50 years old, I listen to that stuff, and I'm like, this is a good hard rock song. Metal, or not metal, but a hard rock album, right? Like I can listen to it and say, don't think of this as Metallica, just listen to it for what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I can listen to it. Bleeding Me's got a great chorus line. Love that chorus.
Yeah, it does.
Until It Sleeps, I like that song.
You can have that one.
Yeah.
I like the chorus line. The chorus line where it gets heavy, I like that. The video, no.
Yeah,
no.
I know. Not good.
Oh, God.
And the Marianne Faithfull stuff. And no. But
and the cover art, no.
Yeah, just awful. But
that was horrible.
Yeah.
I have other words for it, but I won't say it.
Here's where they lost me, man. And we'll wrap this up in a minute. But I've seen Metallica, the actual Metallica, 3 times. I've seen them. I literally moved back here from California. I sent my wife and kid 2 weeks ahead because there was 3 Metallica dates that I could catch on the drive back. I mean, that's how much I was crazy. Awesome. And that was on the Black Album. And, I went and I sat in the Snake Pit. And, I'm like you, Metallica freak. When they got to Load, all of a sudden, musically, I wouldn't have cared if they still killed live. But I went to see them when they played, and I still remember it like it was Metallica, Days in the New, and Jerry Cantrell at Blossom. And they went to like, hey, who wants to hear some old shit? Who wants to hear the old shit? And I was like, yeah, finally. After playing just this almost all Black Album and Load stuff. So they get everybody cheering. They bring out stools and acoustic guitars and did an acoustic medley of Kill 'Em All and Ride the Lightning tunes. And I
man.
was like, I'm done. I'm
Yeah.
done, because it was like, what happened? And then, you know, and I'm sure you're aware of this now, and you don't have to comment on this, but I hope your band never goes to the hello friends and glad to have our friends from Metallica with you. And, you know, I miss the old days where James would see one guy sitting down in section 599, and he would point to that guy and be like, listen, motherfucker, if you don't get up, I'm walking off the stage. You know, I loved that. There was something about Metallica in that day. You were part of the show. And if you weren't doing your part, it was like Lars playing with one stick. You know, it was, they expected that. And that's what I like about what you're doing with your tribute, is you're bringing it with that ferocity, with that energy, which is great.
It's people, like I said, people deserve a show. I want people to be engaged, and I hope people understand that this is a show. All right. I say some things on the microphone and I don't give a shit if you're offended. You know, we go all over the country here, and, you know, there's kids at our show. People bring, I love it. I love when they bring their kids out to the shows, and there's so many moms and dads that bring their kids up. Like, this is his first show, you know, and I'll look out in the crowd and be like, hey man, how old are you? And there'll be a little, you know, 12 or a 10-year-old sitting on the gate right in the front.
Right.
And they say, I'm 10. And, you know, and I'm like, I look out, I was like, is that your mom right behind you? And she's smiling. She's like, yeah, it's my kid. And I'm like, that's so great. I'm so glad you brought your fucking kid here so I could teach him how to swear. And they, you know, the people are laughing their asses off and stuff. And I'm like, don't worry. Your kid already knows all these words and says it when they're at school. So we make a joke out of it. And I've only had one person ever get offended. And of course they were from New York, but it was years ago. And it said something. I said something like, "Oh, we're gonna play one for the ladies now," and I think we played Enter Sandman. And she got offended at the end of the night. We're tearing down, and this lady comes up to me and said, "You know, I was offended that you said that song was for women." You know, and I was like, "Well, tough shit. I don't care." I did. I told her, I was like, "I don't give a shit what you think. We're the show. If you don't like the show, don't come."
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm not going to change my show because you were offended. Grow some thicker skin.
That's right.
So, you know, but yeah, we are not going to. I don't like the live show that they do. Yeah. You know, like people are like, well, you know, you're not doing it the way they do it live. I'm like, I don't care how they do it live. I don't study their live show. I study their albums.
Yeah.
So when we're doing it, I do whatever I feel like in the moment. I never know what the fuck I'm going to say when I go up to the microphone. So it's like, well, if you're bringing your kids out, you're getting a 86 through 89 experience of what Metallica used to be like, because they're not going to say on the microphone, "What's up, motherfuckers?" They're never going to say that again.
Never again,
because there is so much corporate money behind that band. Mm-hmm. They're going to piss off the people that, you know, puppet master what's going on in the background. They've got tons of companies that they probably own, you know, the all within my hands thing, and they have to be politically correct. And I'm not. I'm just some fucking broke dude.
Well, and they weren't either. I mean,
no, they weren't.
They weren't.
Not be, and they didn't give two shits. And they were vulgar a little bit, and they were funny, and it was just a good time, you know. I mean, look at the old pictures of James. He's always got a fucking beer in his hand.
Oh yeah,
always.
The alcoholic days.
It was fun, you know, Heineken's and stuff like this. So I'm like, I want to bring back that dirty, raw, aggressive feel that they used to have. Not just play the songs, but embody that. You know, I wear a real 762 bullet belt. It's like 10 pounds. It's full of dirt. You know, I wear skin tight fucking chick pants. You know, we sweat our fucking asses off doing this stuff. And I bought the Lars kit that he used to play on I think it was on the Black Album tour with the big 4 toms and the 4 toms, 2 hi-hats. I mean, we're trying to bring it back. So like it's all the cabinets and it's a big banner in the back and just give people what they'll never see again. You will never see Metallica pissed off. Even James has said in interviews, well, I used to be angry and pissed off, and that's the way I wrote the way I wrote. Well, now I'm not angry and pissed off anymore. I'm like, well, and that's why it's not the way it is anymore.
That's right.
You know, he makes a lot of fucking money, even after the divorce. You know, he's The dude's 100-some millionaire, a few hundred millionaire, I should say, him and Lars. And it's like, well, they've changed, and then you get the live thing where Trujillo and Hammett were picking a song and doing it on their own, and people are like, what the fuck are you doing?
We got Michael Stanley here. We got Michael Stanley, This Is My Town here the last time they did it. I was like,
they did that?
Yes.
Yeah, why?
It was cringe. It was so cringy.
People pay so much. I mean, look, I'm not going to bust on what the ticket prices are. I'm just going to tell, as a fan of Metallica, I'm not going and spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars to see that crap. Yeah. I don't want to see your representation of what you thought a Celtic Frost song should sound like. That dude don't like you guys anyway. Don't do his music. But like Michael Stanley, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear fucking No Remorse or Metal Militia or do something heavy, that you did, or even Anti-Evil, Blitzkrieg.
Dude, that was my biggest bitch, was they spent 15 minutes with them two noodling around and,
and you're getting 16 songs and they're done.
Yeah.
They're done. But we do like 20, 22 songs and we're done. I want to give people at least 2 albums of Metallica.
Yeah.
They won't do that. And they don't have to do that. They're Metallica. People are going to buy the ticket anyway. But guys like us, it's like, I'm more of a old school purist, I guess you would call it. And I don't want to see that stuff. I don't want to hear anything off of Lulu or Stanger or 72. None. Just give me the old stuff, man. Give me the old, get pissed off, put a wig on and pretend you're back, and you're broke.
Right.
And you just got out of the van and your back is hurting and your legs are numb and you got fucking 3 beers in you and let's go. Let's just get down raw, dirty, and aggressive. That's our show. So I hope people can appreciate that. The only thing we don't do is get drunk before the shows or do any coke or any of that bullshit.
Right.
We want to do it absolutely like the album. There's a couple dynamics that I will add, like harmonies on some stuff that we'll do. But other than that, I want it to be the album for people, and I want people to have a kick-ass show with us. That's what it's all about.
Well, that's what we're looking forward to. Rockin On The River coming up. And is there a website you guys have where you can buy merch and check out the shows and all that?
Yeah, it's www.fourhorses.me. That's the word 4, not the number 4. So it's FOURHORSES.me. So fourhorses.me. And you can get us on our Facebook there and our Instagram. And I've got a link tree I can send you guys as well. But I mean, the gist of it is Facebook, website, Instagram. Other than that, it's just like bands in town where we'll have our schedule. And our schedule ports right over to the website. So if you're looking at the website, you're seeing everything that's on bands in town anyway.
Well, I know that you didn't want to come back to Cleveland for a while, but I'm happy that you're here. I'm looking forward to seeing some of those shows. I live right by the local, so I'm looking forward to checking out that show.
Oh, okay, yeah. Where are you at now, Chris?
Twinsburg.
Twinsburg. Oh, okay. Yeah. We'll probably be there next year for that Twinsburg one. They do us like every other year.
That'd be cool. Well, yeah. I'll see you September 13th. I'm coming to see the big show, dude. Hell yeah.
Well, if you guys are coming out, let me know.
We need the free tickets that we talked about that you don't want to give us.
Free tickets.
Hey, you know what the funny thing is about the free tickets before we go?
Yeah.
My dad just passed away in April. He came to every Antithesis show.
Right.
Because they were always in Cleveland. Mm-hmm. We never toured really. And he came to every Horseman show that was in Cleveland. And he never told me. He always paid at the door.
Nice.
And then my wife would bring him side stage and he would, just ear to ear grinning, loving it.
It's awesome.
So when people ask me for free tickets, I said, go ask my dad. If my dad got it for free, you can get in for free.
That's right.
Because my dad understood. And he's like, no, you need to support the band. Everybody. Even my family would come out. Like, well, how do we get in? My dad was like, buy a fucking ticket. That's how you get in.
Exactly.
It's my son up there on stage and he needs to get paid.
Right.
So, let me know if you guys are coming out, man. We'll hang beforehand.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, one more time, it is September the 13th on Rockin On The River. It is the Four Horsemen. And Sean, thanks so much for joining us here
on
the
brother.
Seth Williams
Thanks
Show.
for having me, guys.
All right, bro.
Thank
take
you.
care.
Your voice and master your day. I know you can hear
Fucking
can't
rocks,
wait.
man.
I cannot wait for that show, dude. That's gonna be good, man. I have known Sean for a long time. Never like buddy friends, but I used to promote Antithesis quite a bit, and when I was doing Scene and Music's Bottom Line and stuff a zillion years ago. But that dude is talented, man. That's the one that we didn't really get into how talented he is to actually do that voice and everything. I mean, he does the Hetfield as good as Hetfield.
I'm looking forward to going out there. I haven't been out to the. I used to go to Rockin On The River down in Cuyahoga Falls.
Yeah, I did too.
I used to host those actually when I was working at MMS. But I'm looking forward to. I haven't been out to Black River Landing yet. It's a great venue.
I think I've been there once. I think me and Kelly went and saw Zoso, the Zeppelin tribute out there one time. And they're okay. They're not as good. Not even on the same ballpark as Four Horsemen is to Metallica. Right. But then again, how are you gonna copy Led Zeppelin either? That's a tough chore. Yeah. So is Metallica, but doing Zeppelin is a tough chore. Yeah, I can't wait.
There's no more music like those bands, man.
There's not.
There's no more music like the Floyds, the Metallicas, the Zeppelins, and stuff like that. It's not music like that.
Yeah, let me put up the website. Somebody's asking for the website. Copy. I'll just put it in the old thingamajiggy here. So yeah, that was fun, and that was what we needed, was something fun to take us out of our absolute ugly start to the show today.
Yeah, I was so bored of talking politics and Olympics, and it sucks, and everything sucks, and we need riots in the streets. I need some music.
Yeah,
I need to be able to go out and have a good time.
I'm gonna have to start.
I will say this though.
Yeah.
What the hell are they doing trying to play the local?
I don't know.
I love the local. Local is a great bar. It's a fantastic bar. Been there. I've seen Billy Morris there. But if they draw that kind of crowd, you better start standing outside in line now for a November 2nd show if you want to see it.
See, but that might be, dude, how cool will that be to see a band that good play in a bar that holds like 200 people?
Yeah, if that.
Does that bar hold 200? I've been there too. That's a little bar.
It is. I mean, it's a great bar. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love it. They have fantastic food. But I don't know, man. Yeah, maybe 200.
Yeah, I was saying not a ton of, not a big room at all. I was a little surprised when he said that too.
There's a girl on Facebook that I'm friends with. She's extraordinarily good looking, and she works at that bar. So I might hit her up for maybe some tickets. Save me a table.
We can get tickets, I'm sure.
What else did I want? Oh, there's another show coming to town that I wanted to see.
Who's that?
Coming to the Akron Civic Theater, I believe.
Who?
Theory of a Deadman. And a couple of the bands. Can't remember who it was, but there's a couple of the bands. Theory of a Deadman. But I'm a big Theory of a Deadman fan. Last time I saw him, though, it was pretty cool. Like, my wife and I got to sit, like, in, like, a private show, dude. It's, like, the House of Blues. They have, like, a little room off the House of Blues, not the main venue area. But
yeah, that shit, whatever that's called, the
like
champagne
Pink Room or something,
whatever. Yeah,
yeah. And so we got to sit there and watch them, and it was fantastic. I love that band.
What was their hit? Their biggest hit? I
had a lot,
dude. They're one of those bands that I bet I know the songs, but I always
just
thought they were Nickelback, and I just didn't listen.
No, they had quite a few hits. They had
what's a big one? Low Life, Wicked Game,
Low Life, I Hate My
Girl.
Life, Bad Girlfriend.
All right, let me try Bad Girlfriend, because that seems to have something listed as dirty. Let's see. I'm curious with Theory of a Deadman, because I really don't know their music.
I'm a huge fan of the band.
I had to look to name any songs. I really didn't.
Right
know.
there. I mean, you don't even have to play the music. I'm a big fan.
I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Theory of a Deadman, Bad Girlfriend. Bad guy.
A little bit. But
a little bit.
Come on, it's not totally Nickelback.
He sounds like Chad Kroeger.
I like that band.
I mean, it sounds okay to me. It's radio rock, but it
is radio rock. That's what I liked.
You know, I mean, it's cool. We'll listen to it.
I
know the song, but I hold on. Now I got to go to Nickelback. Nickelback.
Please, Something in Your Mouth by Nickelback.
All right, it sounds exactly the same.
It does. A little bit. I see it. I hear it.
Come on.
No.
Same band.
Same style.
Same voice.
No. Same style.
Same exact voice.
Same rock radio style.
It is a rock radio style. I mean, they're very close, dude. Come on. That voice is almost the same. Play a little more of this. I like this tune too. Any song about sucking cock is okay with me.
Amen.
Needs to hit the big screen and shoot a little love scene of Hollywood and kinda she'd be gone before you holler, come on. Pretty little lady with the pretty pink thong, every sugar daddy hitting on her all night long. Doesn't care about the money, she can be with anybody. Ain't it funny how the honey wanted you all along? You're ripping up the dance floor, honey. You shake your ass around for everyone. I love the way you dance with anybody and tease them all by sucking on your thumb. You're so much cooler when you never pull it out, 'cause you look so much cuter with something in your mouth.
This is the same band.
It's not the same band. I like that, but I like Nickelback too.
Like the other guy that you could easily mistake them
Well, that was because
if you don't know the two bands. Like I don't know the two bands really. I could totally listen to this song and think it was Nickelback. I did.
Jake says, "I Hate My Life" is the best Theory of a Dead Man.
Well,
song.
let's see that one.
I like
See,
that.
I probably know that
But
too,
that's-
and probably thought that was Nickelback. What
It's
is it
not
called? I hate my
metally.
life.
It's not metally though.
I hate my life. Well, neither is Photograph, and I like that one. Look at this photograph.
Hang on, buddy.
So sick of the hobos.
Come on.
Always begging for change.
Not Chad Kroeger.
He sounds just like him.
I don't
No.
like how I got away.
Are you kidding?
They just sit around and
It's
get
close.
paid. I hate all of the people who can't drive the cars. But you better get out of the way before I start falling apart.
This guy sounds exactly like Chad Kroeger. Nickelback Photograph.
All right, it might be close.
Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. My eyes get so red. And what the hell is on Joey's head? This is where I grew up. I think the president fixed it up.
All right.
I never.
It's the same.
So now the question is, maybe he's Superman and like he's Clark Kent. So do you ever see Chad Kroeger in the same building as the lead singer of Theory of a Dead Man? Probably not.
I bet you those two bands don't tour together.
No, they're the same band.
Because that's the same guy would have to play double duty.
Wow. For one comes out.
That's pretty close to the same. That's
All right,
hilarious.
maybe. But I like both. How about that?
I don't know Theory of a Dead Man. It seems like I do because I knew that one that Jake said too. But I always thought it was. I don't know Nickelback well enough. I mean, I know their hits. I know Photograph and How You Remind Me. Something in Your Mouth. Don't they have a Bullet song too? Side of the Bullet or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I know some of their tunes, but I don't think I've ever owned an album or anything. I don't hate them. I'm not like everybody else. Like, they suck. They're the worst ever.
I met them. They're nice guys.
Yeah, I've met them. I've interviewed Chad twice, actually. But Theory of a Dead Man, I always thought they were Nickelback. I heard the name, but never like researched it, I guess.
Well, I like their songs. So. And they're coming to Akron Civic Theater with some bands, but I can't remember the
Theory
names.
of a Dead Man?
Yeah.
Will they be playing Photograph and How You Remind Me?
I
And
will not be playing Nickelback songs.
they ought to just do that as like a cover song or something. Just do one of those. Nobody would know the difference. All right, should we get the fuck out of here?
I guess we should. It's about that time. Thanks everybody for listening. Thanks to Sean from Four Horsemen coming on today. And God willing, we'll talk to you on Wednesday and see what happens between that. With the news cycle the way that it's been going, I'm sure something will be burning to the ground and we'll have that to talk about.
Well, I'm going to see if I can't get us another music band, just so that we're not just stuck in the rut of politics.
That would be good.
So let's see what we can do there. But all right, let's get out of here. So
yep, everybody have a good one. Thank you. Talk to you later.
See ya.